Today, we're going to use the ability to find volume to also find missing measurements or side lengths and how many more cubes might be needed to fill in a box. We'll start with the figure on the left. The rectangular prism below has a volume of 96 cubic feet. What is the missing height? Well, I know that the formula for volume is volume equals length times width times height. I know that length times width is also the area or base, so volume can also be found by finding base times height. In this instance, I'm given the volume of 96 feet cubed, and I know that the base of this figure is 24 feet square. So I can fill in base as 24 feet squared times the unknown dimension of height that I have to find. I can switch things around and say 24 feet squared times the unknown height equals the volume of 96 feet cubed. I know that the inverse, or the opposite of multiplication, is division. So in order to find this missing height, I'm able to take the total volume of 96 feet cubed and divide it by the base of 24 feet squared. I know that 24 times 4 equals 96. Exactly, so there's no remainder. That lets me know that my height is going to be 4 feet. And it's simply 4 feet because height is one-dimensional. I can test this out by multiplying 24 feet squared as my base times a height of 4 feet. I know that 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 2 is 8, plus the 1 is 9. That gives me 96 feet cubed. So once again, I'm able to figure out that my height, in this instance, the missing dimension, is 4 feet. Now, when I'm given a figure like the one on the right, and I'm asked how many more cubes are needed to fill in the box, the important word is how many more cubes are needed to fill in this box. So, the first thing I need to do is use my formula of volume equals length times width times height. And I need to find those dimensions. So, I can come over here and I can find the length of the figure, which is going to be 3 units. I can find the width of the figure, which will be 2 units. And I can find the height of the figure, which is going to be 5 units. Now I can come back and fill in my formula. So length is going to be 3 units times the width of 2 units. I'll put them in parentheses to show that those two are base or area, and we'll do them first, times my height of 5 units. So 3 times 2 is 6 units squared. That's going to be my base. Now I can multiply it by my height of 5 units, and that gives me a volume of 30 units cubed, because volume is three-dimensional, length times width times height. However, that's not the complete answer to the question because it asks me how many more cubes are needed to fill the box. Well, if I know that the total volume is 30 units cubed, and I figured out the base, the bottom part of this figure, and I know that the bottom part of the figure, or the base, is 6 units squared, I can add any other cubes already inside of the figure. There are 4 additional cubes. So the base plus 4 additional cubes tells me that there are 10 unit cubes in this figure. Now, if I know that the volume is 30 units cubed, and I subtract the 10 unit cubes that are already there, how many more cubes will I need to fill that figure? That would simply be 20 more unit cubes. So my answer would be that I need 20 more cubes to fill this figure. 20 more unit cubes. And that's how we figure out how many more cubes are needed to fill the rectangular prism.